Right, hi guys, we're here to make our carrot soup, and this is from our lessons earlier on basic knife skills. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you have everything ready. So I would like you to always set up your ingredients in the same way so that you're always prepared. I have the carrots, diced onion, and my diced potato. I have some seasoning, salt and pepper. I won't be using all of that, just a little bit of that. And then I have my spices. Now your recipe calls for ground coriander, some stock, and some fresh coriander. I didn't have any fresh coriander, so I have some coriander leaf and I have some ground coriander. But you do not have to use coriander. You can also use some ground cumin. Cumin and carrots go very well together. You could also use a little bit of mild curry powder or some mild chili powder to flavor your carrot soup. Any of those will work really, really well in this soup. Now I have already diced and chopped my vegetables, but and you should have done it in your practical this morning, but if we were making this from the beginning, we would be using a peeler, a knife, and a chopping board. I have my recipe with me, and I will be posting that on Show My Homework so that you have it as well. Please remember, if you're using your books, please can you pop it into a little plastic sleeve just so that that doesn't get all dirty, just in case you mess some food or some oil or anything on it. I use a spoon rest, but you can use a little plate or anything that you have, just so that you're not putting your spoon down on your counter. That's particularly important when you're using things like curry, because your counters will get stained. I have a large saucepan and a lid, and I also have my hand towel and my tea towel ready for when I'm washing up and when I wash my hands. Right guys, so we're going to start, and we are going to have 1 tablespoon of oil in our saucepan. We're going to pop the heat on, and we're going to do this on a medium heat, and you're going to add the onion to your saucepan. Give it a little stir. Now, again, when you are making soup, you do not actually have to worry too much about the size of the vegetables, because you are going to make them finer at the end. Sorry guys, I meant to say at the beginning, please make sure that you are actually ready for your practical. Aprons on, tie up your hair, and make sure that your hands are clean, so that we can do this in following all our health and safety rules. So I've got my onions frying, and the actual word that we use is saute. Now the word saute means to fry gently, and that's why I want it on a medium heat. If it gets a little bit too hot and your onions are in danger of burning, please do turn the heat down, and you're going to fry your onions for about 5 minutes. Right, so that's been frying for about 5 minutes, and you'll see that the onions change color. They go translucent. We're going to add the spices. Now I'm actually going to use cumin in mine today, but you can use ground coriander, cumin, chili, anything that I said before. We're going to add the potatoes, and you're going to give that a stir. Right, we're going to fry that for about 1 minute or 2 minutes, just so that the harshness of the powder, the herb that you've put in, or the spice that you've put in, is baked off, and it actually does change the flavor. Right, then I'm going to add the carrots back in, and if you can see, I have tried to keep my carrots and potatoes a very similar size so that they cook at about the same speed. You're going to add your stock, approximately 1.2 liters. Now I do mine separately, but you can mix your stock beforehand. I just put in my water, and then I crumble in my stock cube. And I'm using 2 stock cubes today, a vegetable and a chicken. Right, give that a stir and bring it to the boil. I am going to add a little bit of chili flakes to mine just because I like the hit. Right, so I've brought that up to the boil and I'm now going to cover it with my lid, and I'm going to turn the heat down to a simmer, which means a slow boil, and I'm going to let that cook for about 20 minutes. Hi guys, so that's been 20 minutes, and just to show you, the vegetables are really nice and soft. If you squish them, they just... Right, as soon as you got them to that consistency, you want to turn off the heat and let it cool for just a few minutes. Right guys, so that's cooled down for a few minutes. Now I am lucky enough to have one of these, which is a stick blender, but you can also just use one of these potato mashers to mash your vegetables up. Right guys, now you would want to make your soup look pretty and appetizing, so what I've done here is I have taken about 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt. You can use a little bit of cream if you want to, and I've just popped it into a sandwich bag, and that is just resting in a normal mug. I'm going to pull that off, and you will see that that makes a little piping bag. Right, you can do this with a spoon, but it is a bit more fiddly. You are then going to swirl some yogurt over the top. Keep your mug handy just to rest your piping bag in, and then I am going to just sprinkle a few little bits of chili over the top. And there we have it guys, carrot soup. Enjoy, and I hope you have fun.